Welcome to Indie Beacon Radio, where creative souls can find help in marketing their creations. You can send questions for each show on Twitter using the hashtag IndieBeacon. Now sit back and enjoy learning about our guest for this show.
Hello, and thank you for joining our show. I am your host, josalyn-holiday, 27 letters, one more than the alphabet. Once again, thank you. Now, if you have been following me, you may see one name on my Facebook page or Twitter, but actually we're going to interview someone completely different today. We have a special guest by the name of B Alan Bourgeois. He's an award-winning author, award-winning speaker, founder and director of Texas Authors, Indie Beacon, Dear Indie, Dear Texas, Texas Authors Institute of History, and Indie Lector. Welcome to the show, Alan.
Howdy. I don't think I've ever heard anyone list off all those things in one breath.
Of course, I can do it.
Well, I'm glad you did.
Well, of course, I just told everybody all of your business, but did I leave anything out? Would you like to add anything to that list?
Let's see. No, I think you pretty much covered everything. So, as you can see, I do a lot.
Yes, you do a lot in a very short period of time, and I know you look out for a lot of Texas authors all over the state of Texas, and there's so much you have done in the past, and I know you are an expert on a lot of different things. So can you just tell us, anybody that's listening, if they want to create a book, what is the first thing they should do?
Well, other than getting rid of any fear issues that they may have, because God knows most of us do have those, once the book has been written, they need to really get together with a good editor, let them go through the process, and maybe even consider two different types of editors, two different types of editors, but ones that stay within the genre that you've written. Because they're going to have some good feedback for you that can help your story in a lot of different ways. Then, of course, going through the regular process of a proofreader, getting the book laid out, getting your cover artist, just starting all that process. And while that's going on, start marketing your book. That is the key issue that most all authors tend to forget or don't know how to do or don't want to do. Is marketing their books when it's actually in the process of being written and through the process of publication. It's a tough spot.
And when you say marketing their book, is there a specific cost that they should be prepared to pay? About what average do you say it would cost to put together a first book?
To put together the first book, you're looking at the proofreader, the editor, the graphic designer for the cover, whatever fees you're going to be paying depending on how you publish. So you can easily do it at $1,000, and you can spend upwards up to $10,000, $15,000, all depending on what you're trying to do, what type of book it is. When it comes to marketing, be prepared to give an arm and a leg for that.
So it's a lot of costs in books. What about hidden costs?
I'm sorry, but what about what costs?
Hidden costs. Are there any unexpected costs?
Well, it's not so much the unexpected as it is things that we just don't think about and we take for granted. Good ones are your cost of your phone, your cost of a laptop, and doing the printing of your first story as you're proofreading it and stuff. Mileage when you're marketing your book. How much mileage are you putting on your car to go to bookstores, to go to events, to go do this, go do that? Your time is the most important thing, because this is now a career. It may be your second or third career, but it's still a career and you have to determine what is your value. How much do you want to get paid per hour for working on this? There's a good chance that your book's not going to ever pay you for that, but if you have a good, solid idea of what your value is, that will help you better determine how much energy and time you really want to put into this and make it into a full-time career, because it can happen. There are many authors out there. Out of the over 1 million authors in the United States, a good 20% of them have made it into a career. And so it can be done if you want to dedicate yourself and if you value yourself at the right level.
Okay, and I know a lot of people that are very interested in writing a book, and when you start saying $1,000 and $1,500, and I know when I first started, of course, I Googled everything, so I know a lot of the different prices out there that publishing companies offer, and a lot of people that start off would rather just submit their manuscript to a company that may or may not take it and just get paid for the book. Would you suggest on a first book just sending your manuscript out to several different companies all over the United States?
Yes and no. Here's the official old-time, old-school rule. When you send out your manuscript to one publisher, you should not send it out to any other publishers until you receive a letter of rejection or approval. With that said, that can take years and years of time to go through that. It's less because there's less big houses, publishing houses out there. But that is the standard rule. Now, most people will go ahead and send it out there. The catch on that one is if they find out, let's go with you've got a great book and they say, okay, we're interested in this. And while they're starting to think about, can this book be published, will it sell, and they happen to find out that it's been presented to other book publishing companies, they will walk away. And chances are all of them will walk away, which means you've lost your opportunity to be published by a big house. An agent will help with that. And then it's finding the right agent that works in that genre and that is willing to take your project on. That, too, can take time. But those are good avenues to do. However, if you're more of an anal-type person who loves to have control over your project, do it yourself. Get it self-published. More and more authors are learning that there's good money to be made if they do it themselves, as long as they have through the proper process. And by support, I mean the writers' groups, the reviews, finding the right type of people to do edits, to do the cover design, all of that type of stuff, including the marketing, is very critical and very valuable. So if you've got good support and you've got good connections with organizations like Texas Authors or Indie Beacon, then you've got a good opportunity, a good potential of making money. And being out there and pushing your book, you could do very well.
Okay. That's some very good advice. So a lot of people use Creator Space in Amazon. Is that a place where people should go to publish a book, and why?
Personally, I say no. First off, CreateSpace is no longer. It has officially closed its doors and it's being taken over by Amazon as KDP Select. That happened in the middle of September of 2018. KDP Select is basically offering the same services as CreateSpace with some things drawn back, such as they don't do editing, they don't hire out the graphic artists and that type of stuff. You really have to have that done first. I personally prefer that you don't use Amazon for your publishing for two reasons. One, bookstores and your big stores, Barnes & Noble, your indie stores, all of those type of people, including the grocery stores, the box chain stores, do not want to do business with Amazon. So you're going to lose opportunities if you are published with KDP Select or CreateSpace, as it was. You will lose those opportunities. And you don't want to lose those opportunities. You want as many opportunities to sell your book as you possibly can have. So that's the main reason to stay away from them in that perspective. Yes, it's cheap. Yes, it's easy. Yes, it's simple to do. And the old story of, well, it's Amazon. All the books are sold through Amazon. Yeah, a lot of books are sold through Amazon, but more and more people are backing away. And specifically, the serious readers are backing away from Amazon. They're looking for good books. They're looking for ways to find good books. And so there's a lot of different opportunities now growing and developing. And we've created one of those called Indie Lector. It's a bookstore that we're opening up soon that is designed to help authors make more money. So that will be another way for readers to find good quality works as well. So overall, I would say you're hurting yourself if you go to Amazon only. You don't really want to use them. You want to go and self-publish through Ingram Sparks and other sources. Just be careful not to be paying outrageous fees.
Okay. So when you're getting ready to publish your book, how much time and energy should you be prepared? If you're not looking for this to be your first job, how much time and energy should you prepare for?
Oh, that's always a tough one. Again, it depends on what type of book you have and how much time you want to put into it. If you've joined the right organizations that help you with the writing and the right organizations that help you with the marketing, it will be easier. It will be much easier because you're having access to resources that can really help you and help you understand what's available out there, what you can use out there. So that will be a major plus. Yes, you're going to spend money joining those organizations, but for what you're going to get in the long run, it pays for itself 10 times over easily.
Okay, that is a lot of helpful information. And it is time for us to take a quick break, but in a few minutes we will be right back.
Do you love to read great new ebooks? Visit ebg247.com. Be the first to discover the next bestseller. At ebg247, we have the web's largest selection of great new book reads, from that amazing new fiction or nonfiction to horror, romance, and fantasy. We even have today's best children's books. That's ebg247.com. New books arrive daily, and all ebooks start at just 99 cents. If you love to read, then you'll love ebg247.com. Low prices, large selection, and an easy-to-use website. It's all only at ebg247.com.
Headlines. Cryptocurrency vultures are circling around failing governments. Darknet predators are rushing to market with their newest digital product. They promise economic salvation, even as they coupon clips straight from your digital wallet. The newest techno-thriller installment from Breakfield and Berkey, The Enigma Source. Book 10 of the Enigma series continues the combat of cyber good guys versus cyber thugs set in today's digital landscape.
Howdy, I'm John Cruder, the Midnight Marauder. I guess you might say that I'm a vigilante who rights the wrongs I see along my many travels to balance the scales of justice, especially those of the corrupt and murderous members of the Town Council of Bandera, Texas. You can follow my many adventures in a series of Midnight Marauder books written by Roy Clinton on Amazon.com and TopWesterns.com. Or, if you prefer, listen to my adventures in audiobook form by downloading them from Audible.com or iTunes. This is R. William James, the voice of the Midnight Marauder.
A new online bookstore, IndieLector.store, is unlike any other. IndieLector.store offers great prices from top indie authors and supports authors at the same time by paying them more for their books. IndieLector.store has a readers club that gives you free books and special deals. Watch the IndieLector.store continue to grow before it opens in the fall of 2019 at IndieLector.store. Love to read? Love to meet authors in person? Then check out bookfestival.network to find a book festival in your region of Texas. We are adding book festival events throughout the year, so sign up to get notices and even a coupon towards purchase of a Texas author's book. Sign up at bookfestival.network. Hello, Texas authors. My name is Randy James, coming to you from my Carrollton recording studio, where I spend time writing and producing commercials for my radio endorsement clients, as well as my private freelance clients. I'd like the opportunity to help you sell more books with a commercial like this and get listeners of Dear Texas Radio excited about your title, all at a special introductory price. Available to members of the Texas Association of Authors. Call or text 214-762-1942. That's 214-762-1942.
Bourgeois Media and Consulting, a book publishing consultant where creative inspiration is realized. More at bourgeoismedia.com.
Welcome to Indie Beacon Radio, where creative souls can find help in marketing their creations. You can send questions for each show on Twitter using the hashtag IndieBeacon. Now sit back and enjoy learning about our guest for this show.
Welcome back to our show, and my name is josalyn-holiday. Again, we are interviewing Mr. B Alan Bourgeois, who is a founder of many things, including Texas Authors. And we were talking about putting energy into your marketing. So my next question is, thinking about my schedule, which is very, very busy, and then looking at everyone that's trying to publish books and get it out there in the marketing, what would you say is a good turnover rate? Because, of course, we all know writing books, publishing books, and everything you put into it is not a get-rich-quick kind of job. So at what point should you see progress in your turnover rate?
That's an interesting question because everybody has their own level of participation and desire. For somebody who really wants to make writing a career and publish lots of books over their lifetime or whatever period of time they set out, you have to look at the fact that your first 1 to maybe 2 or 3 books may not do that well simply because you're a new person in the industry, meaning the readers don't know who you are. So it takes time for them to find out about you, to learn about you, to see if you do good writing and stuff like that. For the author who put time into it, they're not going to reach that level of success fast. So they're going to burn out really quick. For the authors who understand that it does take time and do put the energy into it, they will see continued progress and ultimately will get to that level of success where they're very confident and happy with what they've done. So it really comes down to how much time and energy you want to put into it and what your desire in the long term is for your writing career. There are so many authors that will do 1 or 2 books because, they had an urge and it was kind of like an afterthought or something fun to do, but not enough to really put the energy into it, so they're not going to be that successful. But there are tons of authors out there that really want to make it a career and really get out there and push and get people to know that they're there. And that's really important. And how you market it and how you spend your time is that key factor.
Okay, that is very helpful information. So I know you have done a lot, and I'm sure everything has not come easy, dealing with rejection and being successful in the end. Tell me, where did this all begin? How did you become interested in becoming an author and going further to help other authors?
That's a toughie. With me, I started writing when I was a kid. I was about 12 years old, and it was all about, the fun of writing and seeing if I can be creative and help tell a story. So for that perspective, that's when it started for me. However, like most parents, they want their kids to succeed financially and to be secure financially, if nothing else. So they want their kids to do the proper study, to get a good job and stuff like that. And my mother was no exception to that rule. So she definitely pushed me to put that aside, the artistic aspect aside, and concentrate on education and getting a good job. It wasn't until I was 29 when something happened in my life and somebody challenged me to write a short story about it that it reignited my desire to write, simply because I did write it and it did get published. And so off to the races, as they say, I went. And I've been writing now for close to 30 years since then, with a lot of short stories, 7 books. I'm getting ready to come out with 2 new books in 2019, and so much more. During that last few years of writing is also when, like many authors, I decided to help other people to get published, because of all the things I learned about being published and stuff like that. So I became a publisher. I helped get 60 books published in the 5 years from people from all around the world. It was fun. It was exciting, but that's also when I learned the key value of marketing, and where I was also failing myself. And so through that process, I started to look around to see what was out there, who could help me, and was shocked that there was nothing out there. As far as writers go, there's over 100 different organizations in Texas alone that will help you. But as far as marketing, there was zilch, nothing. So that motivated me to create the organization, and I've been going strong ever since.
Wow. And then you also host a lot of book festivals. Can you just tell us what are your next events coming up for book festivals? Because you don't plan just for yourself, you plan for the Texas authors. So how do you prepare for that?
That is always fun, because we do them in different cities. We've done big cities like Dallas and things of that nature, even Austin. But we prefer to focus in on the smaller communities where maybe a bookstore is not there, or people don't get access to the writing community in the same way. So we reach out to those communities. So I learn a lot. I work with the various libraries that are there to help create programs that will work for them as well as for the local authors and the authors coming in. And sometimes it could take me 2 years to create something. Sometimes it can happen real fast. So we're looking always to develop, and then we also tie into the big events as well in a small aspect. For example, the Texas Book Festival is the largest one in Texas. We are always there for the last 6 years, having booths so that authors can come in and be presented and stuff. So that's something we do as well. But as far as the individual ones that we produce, we have fun doing them. We love seeing them grow. We love seeing the authors sell their books and reach out to new readers, and that ultimately helps them grow, and that's what it's all about. So.
Right. And so what is the next book festival coming up that you have planned?
We have nothing scheduled for ours until 2019. They start in March at the Take 190 Festival in Killeen. Then we'll be in Bryan College Station later in the month. Then we will be in McKinney and Wimberley in June. We will be in Giddings in September. And we're still working on finding a good date for Galveston and possibly Bastrop and possibly other places as well.
Sound like you have a very busy schedule.
Yeah, and anyone who wants to learn about those events or how to participate in them, they can go to bookfestival.network, and network is spelled out. So that's bookfestival.network. It has all of our events on there and with the dates, and they can keep current and sign up as a reader or sign up as an author so that they can have their books displayed. So we definitely encourage them to do that.
Okay. And if there are any authors listening, how can they join your organization, Texas Authors? Do they have to be from Texas?
No, actually, we have created 2 organizations, Texas Authors, of course, being one of them. That started over 7 years ago. They do have to reside in Texas to be a member of that organization. However, with our success from that organization over the years, we created another organization called Indie Beacon, and you can go to indiebeacon.com. That is for authors that are around the world who are independently published or with a small press and who want to learn all these marketing tools and aspects and have the same availability to grow and to be successful as Texas Authors is. So, yes, they can definitely participate. So they can go to txauthors.com and sign up there. And we have membership payments in the form of monthly, quarterly, semi-annual, and annual. And then, of course, like I said, indiebeacon.com, same thing applies. You can pay monthly, quarterly, semi-annual, or annual. So we have budget programs for everybody because we realize, not everybody's rich. God knows I'm not. But we want to help people, so we make these payment options available.
Okay, and I know fall membership is coming up, and you're pushing for a big membership, a renewal, and new members, right?
Yes, every fall and spring we do a membership drive. Anyone can join at any given time, so they don't have to join during those specific times. But these membership drives, we do offer an extra 25% off the membership fee. So, for example, if it's the early part of October of 2018 and they're listening to the show, they can use the code FALL18 and save 25%. Or if they happen to be listening in the spring, they can email us and see if we're having our membership drive, and we can send it to them at that time. But they can join at any given time. They don't have to wait until those membership drives to be part of the event and start learning and start growing, because that's the critical point for them.
Okay. And are there any other services that you can think of that are out there for authors? Because I know when I got started, I knew nothing about anything dealing with authors, and Texas authors just kind of fell in my lap. So is there anything else that authors may not know, or services out there that can be provided to them to help them be successful in the future?
You are asking a question that cannot be answered in a half-hour show. Yes, that is the simple answer. There are close to, I think, 250 types of businesses out there that will gladly take your money and help you with the marketing aspect. Okay. However, you have to do your research, because there are some that really are, they're just rip-offs. They're not going to really help you, and they're too expensive, or whatever service they're offering is not going to help you. You need to do your research, and that's one of the things that Texas Authors and Indie Beacon does. We do that research. We do test organizations out, and we let our membership know this is good, this is bad, or, whoa, this is really bad. You need to run for the hills with this one. And we put that out there in our newsletters constantly, on the blogs and things of that nature. So there are some good, very good organizations that we do recommend. I'll give you one for an example. If anyone writes a story that has locations in it, there's a company called Squirrel. It's spelled SQUIRL, and it is a great way for readers to discover your books, simply because you're tagging those locations in their database. So if somebody who has it on their phone happens to be at that location, it will beep at them and say, hey, a book was written about this location. Here's the information that shows the cover, shows the synopsis. It allows you to buy the ebook online right then and there. So that is a great tool, and it's free. And that's something we've been pushing ever since they started working on it. Before they even released it, we started pushing it because it's such a great tool, and the programs that they've got lined up in the future are wonderful. And we're about out of time, I know, so I'll share and encourage people to join us so they can learn about these things.
Exactly. I know there is a lot out there, and I know because I'm a member of Texas Authors, I can send you an email and you respond so fast. So if they become a Texas author, they can have the same resources I have. But, yes, we are out of time. That time did go fast. Alan, it has been a pleasure speaking with you on marketing and getting books out there, and hopefully some authors are out there to be encouraged. Do you have anything else you want to leave with us before we sign off?
Don't hesitate to write. You never know what you might create, and definitely don't forget to market it. And I thank you very much for your time tonight.
Thank you so much again for joining us. Once again, I am your host, Jocelyn-Holiday. Until next time, be blessed.
Thank you for listening to Indie Beacon Radio, where creative souls can find help in marketing their creations. To learn more about Indie Beacon services, to be a guest on the show, or to advertise on our show, please visit our website at indiebeacon.com.